The light, it binds them. They are too many.
Welcome, Warriors of Light and Darkness. After all the doomsaying prophecies in the last weeks, I feel it is time to shine some light onto those aspects that make Final Fantasy XIV one of the best games in the MMORPG genre, that had been able to catch interest of even the most passionate World of Warcraft fanboy in 2021. At least when just watching Asmongold, Bellular, Preach or other content creators playing the game and falling in love with it for many reasons. Some of them are still here and others will return one day or the other. But regardless of that, these different reasons make this game stand out against the competition and might become your incentive to play, give it a try or just cherish in the hype of being part of it for a long time already. The first aspect is something I personally spent with many hours already, and which took my passion for the game to the next level back in Stormblood. Namely the crafting system, which is very much different from the typical learning skills, upgrading your levels by crafting new recipes and then being a max level crafter with access to endgame stuff. In Final Fantasy XIV, crafting or gathering feel much more like leveling a class or job in the usual way. The best thing about it, there are multiple ways to achieve higher levels. You can do the Ishgard restoration, leaf quests, beast tribes, other dailies or just the usual way of crafting up manually, which can also be enhanced by using scripts or potions that increase your efficiency. However, crafting is definitely the standout distinction here because creating equipment, chocobo bardings or other things in this game demands the player to actually do a crafting rotation with a decently complex theory behind it. Some say it's been dumped down in Shadowbringers to become too easy, but I still believe it's way more satisfying and cool than the crafting implementations in other games. I mean, I made tons of crafting and guild making videos on this channel for a reason, namely because I had lots of fun in theory crafting and optimizing my success on the market board and sharing these info with my community, which had been a very popular topic on my channel for a long time now. From starting as your first disciple of the hand to a full-fledged Omni-crafter is definitely something I can recommend trying out if you haven't done so yet. Which also means if you're more concerned about the market board and business aspect of an MMO, Final Fantasy XIV might be the best game to celebrate that. The second reason is something that developed over the years and with the announcement of Dawn Trail, the new Final Fantasy expansion coming in summer 2024. The free trial of Final Fantasy XIV, which is one if not the best way to play a AAA game for free. Even though it earned its reputation and quality and tries to prove it with a monthly subscription fee, the free trial actually includes the base game and in some weeks the first and second expansion Heavensward and Stormblood, which might be continued with Shadowbringers at some point in time. This is absolutely amazing, because there might be other games out there that offer AAA value for free, but Final Fantasy XIV is at least on par with those games, granting access to 3 core parts of its story arc that all have their own distinct moments, plots and characters that you will undoubtedly fall in love with. Above that, Heavensward and Stormblood really take the gameplay aspect onto the next level, and the further you progress into these expansions, the more you will know if the game is worth paying a subscription for. It is at least 1 hour of story and core gameplay, which includes all the old trials, raids or side activities for free. And just the award-winning expansion Heavensward alone is worth giving it a try. But as a veteran player, now also having the Stormblood expansion being added to the mix really blows my mind, to be honest. For the base game and these expansions alone, if my memory got erased for their content, I would easily pay a full game price to enjoy them again. Another aspect that actually made me start considering creating content for this game is the fact that you can make your character look freaking awesome. While the overall graphical fidelity of the game might not be up to the recent standards, characters, especially the one you can create and play yourself, are looking very good. I mean, there's always a clear distinction between graphical quality and art style, and I dare to say many Final Fantasy players love the art style direction Square Enix takes with Final Fantasy XIV characters. But of course, what is a good looking character without epic gear sets and weapons? That is why I literally dedicated a big branch of my content to this topic alone, trying to highlight gear sets and weapons that this game is offering, and especially with relic weapons I haven't seen anything alike in any other game, especially in the MMO genre. The uniqueness of certain weapons or armor sets, or sometimes just a single gear piece, are outstanding in this game. Together with the style offered by your character, can really turn this into a second life simulator, opening up the stage for roleplay or just a simple "hell yeah, look at my character, it's awesome," which is a moment many MMO players play a game for. Especially that nearly every little item is still accessible even after it had been introduced for the first time a long time ago, because Square Enix tries to keep every form of content in the past alive by implementing sync features or ways to access these types of content even in later stages of the game. Overall, I would say that in no other game I would have ever thought about creating content for it, because in Final Fantasy my character is able to really stand for my channel and does offer recognition value, and I firmly believe you agree with me that the sensation you get when someone asks about your glamour set or where you got that awesome weapon from is simply priceless. So for anyone enjoying the true endgame and visual art style of well-made characters and their respective gear and weapons, Final Fantasy XIV is a must. But surely, what does showing off a handsome character mean without the right community to witness? Exactly, and this leads us to the fourth reason why you should try out Final Fantasy XIV. The community in this game is simply awesome. I've never seen so many creative and passionate people coming together to celebrate their favorite game. It's astonishing how much this community admires this game and its developers that sometimes they're taking this way too far and easily white knight everything that stands in context to it. But I guess every game has people taking it too seriously. But the general player base is absolutely amazing and helpful. And just take a look at this insane project hosted by Husky by the Geek, which you should definitely subscribe to. This brought tears to my eyes when I watched it for the first time, especially how a community can stand tall together, enjoying and sharing an affection for a game that changed many players' lives in a positive way, especially during the hard times of COVID or other situations they had to fight through. I have read countless comments on many YouTube videos about the fact that this game saved them on the brink of despair, because they found really awesome friends in here to share the pain and connect with others, while it had been insanely hard to do so outside when the pandemic reigned. Really, forget about the bad apples and vocal minority that can be annoying at times, but instead look at all those people caring for the game, doing their part to provide feedback, support, and an awesome environment to play around. But aside from that, this game actually promotes these kinds of social connections by offering in-game events for the community to connect like an actual family.
A family.
I mean, you can marry someone in here, or on a more platonic level, this game includes a very well built and highly complex housing system that some people absolutely take to the next level. On my personal experience, I always felt home playing this game, and if you would ask some of the players that started fresh in 2021, it was absolutely heartwarming to see all those welcoming ceremonies and parades when certain streamers or players unlocked a new key area of the game. But of course, the story doesn't end with the community alone. While Square Enix has taken quite some hits during this and the last year, they are still the best developer team on the MMORPG market. They have listened to player feedback since A Realm Reborn and have stayed in close connection with the community ever since. It just feels right when your opinion on aspects of the game actually matter. Or when the celebration of the game is taken to the next level by one of the most wholesome fanfests and definitely the most personal gaming convention I've ever experienced with the fanfest in 2021. So if you're looking for a new gaming family, a new place and space to call your home, this is it. Come to Eorzea and you won't regret it. On the last but in my opinion still most important point, I will sound like a broken record to those having watched my other videos before. But the story of this game is the best I have ever experienced. In my opinion, it beats The Witcher, it beats Metal Gear Solid, or even the golden era of Final Fantasies, but basically every game I've played in the last 20 years. The climax in Shadowbringers did crush my soul and body on spots that I didn't know existed. However, it is not only the genius plot, but also the music, characters, and world building that turns this into the heaviest emotional roller coaster I have ever experienced. This game utilizes the core strength of an MMO, being extendable on nearly all aspects and mixes that with a genuine and powerful storytelling of a classical Final Fantasy. The characters easily grow on you over time and you build a connection to them that is not anywhere close in other single player story games, because the lack of time you could spend with them. If you're interested in a well-written and purely emotional fantasy story with lots of amazing characters in it, what the hell are you waiting for? So, give it a try, or if you already did, keep loving it.